Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George, and that's because we're in it together. And in this stream, I want to talk about this massive signal, this huge signal, even bigger than the one this morning where I showed F2 Pool having a massive outflow of Bitcoin. This one is 10 times as large. And it's going into one of the top exchanges out there, Gemini. What does this mean? I have two scenarios to present to you guys. One is actually really surprising, and it really doesn't make any sense, but it happened. So you definitely don't want to miss this stream. There's a lot I want to show you guys. I don't think anyone have ever connected the dots, and I'm going to do that for you guys. So make sure you smash with a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I know a lot of people are coming in today wondering what the hell is going on with F2 Pool, and I have this new thing I want to share with you guys. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my streams going forward. All right, those of you guys that's running in chat, a lot of people is in here already. Welcome. Let's do this. So changing my screen here. All right, so looking at Bitcoin, it's slightly down from this morning. So when I was streaming, it's about 57.7. After I streamed, it actually went up to as high as 58 something, which I kind of predicted. I remember I said that when things go down, I don't know why, but they usually hit like an even number and then it comes down. But overall, Bitcoin is holding really good. 57,000, you can't complain about 57,000. Overall, the market cap is still above 1.7. You know, altcoins are holding relatively well. Really no movement from this morning, right? So this, I'm gonna move my camera, was what I discovered this morning. And this was absolutely huge from F2 Pool. All right, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. You could see that prior, the largest one, like a single hour dump was about 2,700 Bitcoin outflowing from F2 Pool. Outflowing meaning it's leaving the mining pool. And guess what? Where does it usually end up? Into exchange to be sold. So last time this happened, Bitcoin had a very big dip. Even yesterday, Bitcoin had a slight dip. Remember that flash kind of crash? That was due to this, about 854 Bitcoins that left the pool. And then this morning, I saw this. I'm like, oh God, this is horrible. 3,600 Bitcoins. That's not a day. That's within a single hour that flowed out of F2 Pool. So right now, we're not seeing the effects. I mean, Bitcoin is still at 57,000, right? This is still going well. So what's going on? Are they holding out for something? Is it, people are speculating maybe this is being sold to the OTC market to give to Michael Saylor because people know that he's about to purchase that $1 billion of the Bitcoin. Maybe this is it. This is not nearly as large, but this is a huge amount. So there's not a lot going on with this right now. But what's very, I guess it's a big coincidence or something that's also a little worrisome to me is that this week is where we're heading into the last week of February. And the last Friday of every month is when you have Bitcoin futures expiration, right? That has always been the case. And we have seen some extreme volatility before Bitcoin futures expiration. We saw last month too. And this week, I just think it's very suspicious that we all of a sudden have this huge outflow, the Sunday before the week starts, before this expiration starts, right? So this was very particular, suspicious. You put one and one together, I don't know what's going to come starting tomorrow going forward, right? Maybe this gets eaten up by Michael Saylor. Maybe it doesn't. There is something that's going on here. But right now, we're not seeing effects of it, so that's good. That's good. And like I said this morning, maybe we don't see anything. Maybe this gets eaten up. There's some good news or something, and we don't see anything from it. That would be fantastic. But if we do see something from this, right? Be prepared. If you made a ton of money, this week, last week, a few weeks ago, maybe take some off the side. Be prepared for this. But maybe nothing happens. We don't know. But here's the thing. Now, after this, after this, I was still digging. And then I found this. And this is a little concerning. In fact, this is about 10 times more concerning than the F2 pool outflow. This is the exchange inflow. This is how much Bitcoin flew into all of the exchanges out there. And the number here is pretty staggering. Pretty staggering. Because yes, about 2,600 Bitcoins or 3,600 Bitcoins flew out of F2 pool, which is a lot already. But do you know how much flew into the exchanges at this point? 29,000 Bitcoins. 29,000. This equates to about $1.6 billion. This is more. This is 600 million more than what Michael Saylor is going to buy. That is a little concerning, right? That we have this much Bitcoin flowing in at one time. You got to figure, why is Bitcoin flowing into the exchange? Two reasons. Maybe it's going to custody service. It could be. It could be. But the other reason is it's flowing in to be sold off. But here's the thing. Most people study Coinbase Pro, because that's the biggest exchange in the US. Most people look at Coinbase to see if things are flowing in and out, right? And that's actually a measurement of, with some analysts, predicting if the markets go crash or pump, right? So this is huge. $1.6 billion flowed into the exchanges. So I was looking at it. Good thing CryptoQuant could break it up. They could break up spot exchanges, just like normal exchanges, or derivative exchanges. So looking at derivative exchanges, there's nothing. So this is not 1.6 billion flowing into an exchange that has massive leverage. It's nothing like that. It is going to one spot exchange. And you can see here, spot exchanges. Yeah, this is a lot. 26,000 Bitcoins, right? And guess where it's going? Just like the thumbnail shows you, it's going to Gemini of all places. It's not going to Coinbase. It's not going to Coinbase. It's going to Gemini. So 26,000 Bitcoins was just transferred into Gemini. And I'm just going to guess here that the 3,600 that flew out of F2 pool is part of this 26,000 Bitcoins flowing to Gemini. Now, again, like I said, it could be because it's going into their custody service, right? They're custodians. Maybe it's going into their vault. Maybe someone made a massive purchase already, and they're simply sending it to Gemini to be stored. Maybe it's Michael Saylor already. I don't know if he got his $1 billion already. Maybe he did, and he convinced someone else to buy another 600 million, or somehow he found another 600 million, and this is going to be stored for Michael Saylor, or this is in preparation for something else, right? And I looked at Gemini's outflow. It's not like it just went in and came out. There's no outflow. So this $1.6 billion of the Bitcoin is with Gemini as I speak. So I don't know what this means. Now, here's the thing. At face value, this looks very, very bad, right? That when you have such a massive inflow into exchange, it's traditionally bad because, it's probably going to be sold off. And it could be that this gets sold off. Maybe 1 billion of that is going to flow into Michael Saylor's pockets, and another 600 million is going to be sold on the market, which will probably cause it to come down quite a bit. But we know Bitcoin will recover. It'll give us a good opportunity to dollar cost average. Now, I will present something else that's even stranger than this, okay? So it's not all bad at face value. And that is this. If you look at this inflow, right? There was another time when there was just as big and even bigger inflow. And where is that? That is right here. So this is going back to the all exchanges inflow. So this is going back, in 2020, not too far back. But you could see, besides today, there was one other day where the inflow was even higher, much, much higher. So this day was about 26,000. Guess what? There's another day over here that's even bigger. Even bigger. So I'm going to zoom in here. You could clearly see That was December 12th. And that at that day, 38,000 Bitcoins flew into exchanges. So you got to figure, well, if that many Bitcoins flew into exchanges that day, we must have had a gigantic, enormous dump, one for the ages, right? There had to have been. But guess what? No, that didn't happen on December 12th. I went back and looked at it. I'm like, what happened December 12th? Did we drop down to like 3,000 in December 12th? No, we did not. In fact, the opposite happened. So going back to December 12th, you know where Bitcoin was at December 12th? It seems like it was so long ago, but December 12th was when Bitcoin was right here. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. December 12th was right here. When Bitcoin was at 18,000. And even though we had 38,000 Bitcoins flow into the exchanges, guess what happened? That was the day when Bitcoin turned around. And it went up from 18,000 and went up all the way up to $42,000 from that day forward. So I can't explain it. I can't explain how 38,000 Bitcoins flowing into exchanges actually caused Bitcoin to go up nearly 2.5 fold. But that's what happened last time. So I'll let you guys decide what's going on here. So is this influx here that we saw December 12th, was that actually a good thing? Well, history tells us yes. In hindsight, we look at it, yes. Had I been looking at the charts before and looked at this, I would say this is enormously bad. When you have 38,000 Bitcoins flow into exchanges, that would be very, very bad. But guess what happened? Bitcoin actually rallied from $18,000 to $43,000 from that point on. So using that same logic, if you see this happen right now, that we had a Gemini inflow and exchange inflow come in with 28,000 Bitcoins at face value, it looks really, really bad, right? Until you look at what happened before, and this could actually be a precursor to Bitcoin flying up from 50,000 to 100,000. We don't know. This could be a precursor to that. And maybe, I'm just thinking out loud here, maybe the reason why this is a precursor to that is because we had $1.6 billion of Bitcoin purchased on the OTC market, and it went to Gemini to be stored in their vault. Like I said before, that is a possibility. And that $1.6 billion that was purchased OTC market, that didn't really catch up yet. And once it does, maybe that's when Bitcoin starts flowing up. Maybe Bitcoin will be at 60,000 plus tomorrow, and it continues up to $100,000. So that's the thing I want to present to you guys. I know a lot of you guys saw this, very concerned, right? And it is concerning that we have so much Bitcoin flow out of F2 pool, and even more so, 10 times more flow into Gemini of all exchanges, not Coinbase. But you know what? It happened before. And after this happened, Bitcoin doubled, literally doubled from there. So can we see the same thing again? Maybe. I'll let you guys decide what the hell is going on, because it's kind of all over the place. But I'm glad that we have all this data so we can analyze it, we can look at it, we can prepare ourselves, right? The more data we have, the better, right? So I bet you guys weren't expecting that turn of events, right? All right. So yeah, with that said, the overall market, Bitcoin is around 56,000, 57,000, isn't doing too shabby, right? Tomorrow will be a very, very interesting day. Because you know what? We'll just have to see where the market goes. Right now, Bitcoin is holding strong as a horse, and it's not doing anything. In fact, if you look at the short-term indicators, it's about to turn around. And it may even go higher than 58,000, right? So what the hell happened with the 3,600 Bitcoin sold from F2 pool, did that get absorbed already? Is that still in play? We don't know. Maybe there's a flash crash they're preparing for. I don't know. Just like yesterday, and it could come right back up, right? But what's more important and more interesting is that 28,000 Bitcoin that flew in. And we'll just have to see what happens. With this week coming up, being futures expiration week, I think we're going to see some explosiveness. One way or another. One way or another. Either explosiveness up or down. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, in the meantime, I went through, kind of covered things, this morning too. And things are doing good. Things are doing good. Binance Coin came up in a big way. Ethereum is holding well at 1900. Some of the high flyers like Polkadot, Cardano is still holding. Not as high as yesterday, but still holding. Relatively speaking, today is a pretty good day. Some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, right? There's new pumps, like NEM is pumping up for no apparent reason. But exchange tokens, I told you, is pumping up. Like KuCoin is going up in a big way, right? Dogecoin went up a little bit because Elon, again, tweeted about it. But the Elon effect on Dogecoin is having less and less and less value now because Dogecoin is already at $7 billion, right? Yeah, so overall, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But I'll tell you, for myself, like I said this morning, I decided to take some off the top. Decided to take some off the table in case this week turns out to be bad. I'll be able to buy a little more, right? But what you don't want to do is panic sell and ditch it all, because in case the market goes up, then you're going to regret it, right? But the thing is, no one ever gets hurt taking profits. No one does. You could lose on potential gains, but you never lose profits. So that's what I did, but you guys decide what you want to do. All right. I'm going to turn to you guys for Q&A. I did see some super chats I missed, so hopefully I can answer them real quick. Paul, thank you for that. And then what's the next one? Michael, thank you for that. See you in Vegas. By the way, Vegas, I'm still trying to plan it. It's very, very, very hard because there's still a lot of restrictions right now. So I may have to wait until May or June before I can really plan anything, just so you guys are wondering. All right. So what else is there? Do you think ADA is still going to 25? I think ADA, all these big players, Polkadot, Binance Coin, everyone is going to go up 10 to 20x because I think Bitcoin is not stopping anytime soon. Bitcoin is still on its journey, much, much higher. And as long as Bitcoin does that, everything else will too. Drew asked about FIO protocol. I don't know too much about FIO protocol. I'll look at it real quick, but don't know much about it. Very low cap. It's on Binance. And what do they do? A blockchain protocol aims to enable better ways of sending and receiving coins. Okay. FIO addresses the human readable wallet identifier. Okay, so it creates like a thing for them. Yeah. I guess the thing is, they have a easy to remember wallet identifier. But outside of that, they're just another protocol that's meant to be used in finance, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have any opinion about them. Thoughts on what's going on with DeFi tokens right now? Well, the thoughts, I cover this extensively the last few days. Ethereum's network is congested as hell, and it seems to have maxed out. So Ethereum-based DeFi projects have also maxed out because the throughput maxed out. So because of that, Binance Chain, Smart Chain DeFi products have been going up to the moon, like PancakeSwap, Bakery Swap, Venus, and many others. So that's what's going on. Rumors are like Uniswap will get layer 2 with their next upgrade. We don't know. We don't know if that's true or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But all these DeFi projects, they need to they really need to figure out what to do, or they're going to lose their position. That's for sure. Can you explain reflexor index? I have no idea what reflexor index is. RAI is a non-pegged ETH-backed stable asset. It is useful. It is useful as more stable collateral for other DeFi protocols. So it's probably a stable coin, but it's backed by collateral. That's what it sounds like. And I don't know why you would care, because it's super low and super new, and it's probably too new for its own good. Who am I asked, what exchange do you use if Binance US is not available? KuCoin. You know, I mentioned about KuCoin. It's a very good one. Has a lot of the same tokens that's on Binance.us. And in fact, you could get BNB on KuCoin. So that's the good thing too, because if you can't get on Binance US or Binance.us, you're kind of stuck, right? But KuCoin does allow it. So I do think KuCoin is a very good one. Besides the usual ones, like, you know, the centralized exchanges like Gemini, Kraken, and so forth, even Voyager app, but KuCoin is a good one. Do you ever chat on TV, and what's your name? No. No, and no. I am George. What do you think about ARK? I don't like ARK at all. They're kind of like a dead project. They were working forever to do an interoperability like bridge with Ethereum, and I just kind of gave up on them. They're just too behind versus the other blockchains. Price prediction on SNX, I can't really give it on SNX. I mean, I like what they're doing, but I'm not really into them. I think there's much better plays than synthetics, but you know, if everything else goes up 10x, it's at least 10x. It could at least go 10x. Shep Stack says, the wallet the 28 BTC went into is OKX. Well, I don't know why CryptoQuant would say Gemini. But yeah, okay. I'll have to see. But CryptoQuant says it's Gemini. But I think the main thing is, why do you have so much flowing into exchange? And why did the last time that happened, everything gets pumped up to the moon? So that's the question mark. Fern Dog asks, why do people hate Bittrex? I don't think people hate Bittrex. They shot themselves in the foot. They closed registrations, and then Binance took over. Now, I don't think anyone hates them. I actually still have an account with them. And last time I tried reactivating my account, their customer service was good. Like within minutes, they would answer email tickets. So I know their customer service is good. I went on and their exchange, they updated it. Looks pretty good. But, they don't have a lot of the new tokens on there. That's the thing. They have a lot of the old ones. Like the ones from 2017, there's a lot of them, but the new ones, I don't see a lot of them listed. I don't know the reason for that. Xenon asks, shouldn't Matic be higher because they solved the ETH problem? But they're not the only player. There's a lot of projects that solves the ETH problem. And it has nothing to do with ETH either. It's the dApp makers. They can switch whenever they want, but they don't want to. So it has nothing, really has nothing to do with Ethereum. They're trying to do their thing, but the dApp makers like Uniswap, Aave, all these guys, Compound Maker, they can move whenever they want. It's just they haven't yet. They haven't. Is it too late to buy DOT? No, it's not. So here's the thing. If you believe Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher like me, and it's going to go up 10x, there's no reason to think that say Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Binance Chain won't go up nearly as much, if not more. So if you're looking at it that way, is it too late to get into Polkadot? Just like, is it too late to get in Bitcoin? In my opinion, no, because I think they're going to go much higher. Have I looked in biofinance? I did. So they're just, they don't really excite me. They're like basically a DAO, right? They're like a DAO that's trying to finance DeFi projects. DAOs don't really excite me unless I'm thinking about a different project. Simply buying you a beer. Have a great night. Sturman, appreciate that. Lyle asks, is it too late to buy Graph? No. Graph is a great project. I think they're going to go much higher. Because they provide an essential service of creating APIs for projects. Thoughts on MFT as a mainframe rebrand to Hi-Fi? I don't have any opinion on them rebranding. EJ, I just talked about Synthetic. They provided DEX for basically synthetic tokens of pretty much anything, which is getting hot these days because of DeFi. Synthetic creation of tokens, to be used in DeFi ecosystem is pretty hot. So they're in it. I know Palm Beach, brought them up, but overall, I think they're a good project. I'm just not very excited in them. 2 questions about Synthetic. Yeah, so hopefully they answer both of them. Wait, STX is a different one, so my bad. I got it different. Stacks, I actually don't know what Stacks is. They're relatively big, 600 billion. So good thing I answered the question about Synthetic, but not Stacks. Stacks is a layer 1 blockchain solution that is designed to bring smart contract decentralized apps to Bitcoin. All right, these smart contracts are brought to Bitcoin without changing any of the features that make it so powerful. These dApps are open, modular. All right, so they're trying to bring smart contracts on top of Bitcoin as a, I don't know. I don't think Bitcoin can handle it. I don't think it can handle it. But maybe they're bringing up some kind of scaling solution along with it too. So that's going to be Bitcoin programmable, enabled. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. I mean, Bitcoin is a big dog, right? But I see Bitcoin as a store of value, possibly turn into a digital currency with a layer 2 solution. But I don't see it being, a blockchain for decentralized apps. I think Ethereum and others are much better